Hello, welcome to our channel. Please subscribe for more updates, as we keep you updated with your favorite celebrities. The room was quiet except for the low hum of a ceiling fan spinning above and the occasional rustle of palm leaves outside the window, brushing gently against the faded curtains. It was a warm evening in Barbados, the kind that usually felt like home for Rihanna, but this time, it was different. Inside that room, time was slowing. Ronald Fenty, once full of life, laughter, and flaws alike, was lying motionless in his bed, his breath shallow, spaced, and fading. And beside him, sat his daughter, not Rihanna the global icon, not the billionaire mogul, not the fashion symbol, but Robyn Rihanna Fenty, a daughter on the edge of farewell. For years, their relationship had lived in the shadows of addiction, absence, and regret. The man who once carried her on his shoulders had, at times, also been the source of her deepest pain. Rihanna had spoken before about the trauma, the arguments, the instability, the fear. But she also spoke of the slow healing, the growing understanding, and the complicated but enduring bond between a father and his daughter. Now, with time running out, she wasn't here to accuse. She wasn't here to relive the pain. She was here for something more sacred. Rihanna leaned forward, holding his hand, fragile now, his fingers cool and limp. Her eyes shimmered with held-back tears, her voice soft but steady. There was so much she wanted to say, and somehow, in these last moments, it all came flowing out like a prayer. "Daddy, I'm here. I made it in time. You don't have to worry. You're not alone." She paused. The memories of her childhood rushed in, the chaos she never fully understood as a child, the resilience it taught her. "You weren't perfect. I won't lie and pretend it was easy. You and we've been through it. There were days I didn't want to hear your name, and days I missed you so bad it hurt. But even with everything, I never stopped needing a father. I never stopped hoping one day you'd be okay." Ronald's eyes fluttered open slightly. He looked at her, not as the world did, not as a superstar, but as his little Robyn. His gaze was tired, but there was a spark, the recognition, the gratitude. "I forgave you a long time ago. I didn't tell you enough, but I forgave you. I had to be free. And I need you to know, I love you. Even still, I always did." Her voice trembled. She reached for a cloth to gently dab the sweat from his brow, then kissed his forehead, slowly, reverently. "You gave me your name. You gave me my first lesson in strength, even if you didn't mean to. And now, I'm gonna give you something back, peace. You can rest now, Daddy. You don't have to fight anymore. I'll take it from here. I'll protect our family. I'll make sure Mom's okay. And your grandson, he's gonna know your name. I promise you that." The tears were falling freely now. But they weren't just tears of grief. They were tears of truth, of reconciliation. "I love you. I love you. I love you." She whispered the words like a lullaby, repeating them again and again, each time gentler than the last, until his breathing slowed. In his final seconds, she laid her head next to his on the pillow, their faces side by side, her hand over his heart. Then, the stillness. And just like that, Ronald Fenty was gone. After the passing, Rihanna didn't rush to call anyone. She stayed with him a little longer, soaking in the stillness, the strange calm that came after such a stormy journey. Her grief was private, rooted in decades of memories both painful and tender. When the family arrived, they found her sitting beside him, eyes closed, her fingers gently wrapped around his. "He heard me," she told them quietly. "I know he did." For Rihanna, saying goodbye wasn't just about loss, it was about healing. It was the final chapter of a long and complicated book she had carried for much of her life. And in that final moment, she had done what many only wish they could. She gave her father peace and received closure in return. In the days after, Rihanna stayed mostly out of public view. Those close to her said she spent long hours walking the beach, watching the waves, holding her son a little tighter, and smiling quietly at the horizon, a daughter who had finally said all the words that mattered most. Words of truth, words of forgiveness, and most of all, words of love. Thanks for watching and see you guys on the next video.